What's up, you all? How y'all doing today? Um, Let me try to find a picture of Sinead O'Connor. Everybody keeps thinking that Sinead O'Connor was some kind of, woke individual, some kind of aware person. She wasn't. I promise y'all she wasn't. She was pure, unadulterated propaganda. Pure propaganda. Let me try to put this on, go live on. But again, I realized something that, because we want these things, like we want these things to be true, we want these people to be good. I'm gonna just read some things about Sinead O'Connor. Ah, man, I forgot to send myself the email. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. But we're gonna read about Sinead O'Connor, and we're gonna talk about context. Everybody thinks that she was this person that she really wasn't. Um, we're about to get into it, but I also wanted to read some of the some pages from the uh, the plan, the SPARS pandemic, 2025 to 2028. So really, based on these timelines, these things are about 3 years. They're about 3 years off. Um, what's up, Ross Witty? What's up, the Ice Cold Wolf? What's up, Lisa? What's up, Kenya? What's up, Kaya? What's up, Lady T? What's up, Jahan, with the super sticker? Thank you so much. I ain't seen Jahan in a minute. Um, yeah, let's get into uh let's start with the Sinead O'Connor first, just so I can read some things about her, and then we can go into this SPARS pandemic thing. Okay, so I'm gonna just get into now. Sinead O'Connor. Let me go to this part first. Let me go to 1 second. Let me go to. So she ended up becoming and this and I know she was chaotic, and this is most liberals. Most liberals are chaotic. They all over the place. But we're gonna go into Sinead O'Connor. Now again, I'm not talking about her artistry. I'm simply talking about how people. Oh shoot, my bad, y'all. My bad, YouTube. I mean Instagram. Y'all gotta forgive me. Hold on. I'm just tagging them over here to send them over to the YouTube channel. And let me put this picture up here. Okay, so Sinead O'Connor, I'm not talking about her artistry. I'm talking about everybody thinks that she was some kind of conscious individual. She was the epitome of a liberal. That's all she was. Just because she tore up, that thing at the Saturday Night Live, doesn't mean that she was this individual that was. Hold on, let me try to find it. Let me try to find it. Here it goes, right here. Now, this is what got her famous.
We have confidence in the victory of good over evil. Fight the real enemy.
So basically, she gained a lot of traction with the quote unquote, I guess, truther community or the woke community because she tore a picture up of the Pope then, and she later on said that she knew they were involved with the whole pedophilia thing with the Catholic Church. But I'm gonna just say this is what gained her notoriety or infamy. I mentioned before about the liberal side is always looking for the moment. They live off of moments. So recently it's January the 6th. It's a moment. Biden Harris winning is a moment. These are like moments, and they live off of these moments. George Floyd is a moment. And what they do is they attach all these agendas to the moment. And so Sinead O'Connor is no different. She used this moment to pretty much propel herself into this person that everybody thinks is so conscious and so woke, but we can see what she was really about. So hold on. Okay, let me. Now I want to state for the record. You might not think this matters, but Sinead O'Connor was married. Okay, Sinead O'Connor was married 1, 2, 3, 4. She was married 4 times, and she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 partners. I know you might say, Blanche, what does that mean? She was married 4 times and she had 5 partners. I'm just telling you that she's very chaotic and she's very liberal in her ideologies. People think that she's so woke, and she is. I promise you, she is not. See, what they'll do is they'll pick something that's a non-arguable topic. So if you notice, the folks in Hollywood are against child trafficking because it's an approved thing to be against. Those same folks weren't against the snake bites, though. So what you'll see is that folks will hop on approved topics, that they don't really actually rock the boat. Like, they don't talk about stuff out of season. They talk about stuff that's in season. So now everybody is quote unquote questioning the snake bite. I'm gonna get on Ice Cube in a minute. But again, it's the same thing. Somebody argued that Ice Cube was waking the people up. I said Ice Cube has been a propaganda machine since day one. He had the hit single that he wrote, F the Police. Like, he literally, like, these people have never been conscious and never been what you call woke. They've only been woke and conscious based on the narrative, based on the propaganda. They weren't just independently conscious of woke, because if they were, you thought it was crazy. You'll always know when somebody is truly awakened or enlightened when you think they're crazy. Everybody you think is normal and sane, you're not going to, trust me, they're not going against the system. And you can digest their message easily and not question anything, they're speaking for the system. But let me go back to Sinead O'Connor though. Anyway, 4 husbands, 5 partners. You can say what y'all want to say, it matters. But I really want to get to personal life, and I want to let you all know that, hold on. In 2000, in a 2000 interview in Curve, O'Connor said that she was a lesbian. She later retracted the statement, and in 2005 told Entertainment Weekly, I'm 3/4 heterosexual and 1/4 gay. Again, I told you all, it's chaos. It's just, she's a liberal. It's chaotic. And anything goes. You can be over here. You can be. It's just crazy. O'Connor was the vocal supporter of a united Ireland and called on the left-wing Republican Sinn Féin party to be braver. In December 2014, I'm on Wikipedia with this. It was reported O'Connor had joined Sinn Féin. O'Connor has called the demolition of the Republic of Ireland and its replacement with a new united country. She has also called for key Sinn Féin politicians like Gary Adams to stop down because they remind people of violence, referring to the Troubles. 2015 interview with the BBC, O'Connor wished that Ireland had remained under British rule, which ended after the Irish War of Independence, except for Northern Ireland, because the church took over the country instead. Following the Brexit referendum in 2016, O'Connor wrote on Facebook, Ireland is officially no longer owned by Britain. Again, if you notice, what she does is she's all over the place. She'll go against this person and support them. She says she's gay. She says she's straight. Like she literally it's just chaos. It's just chaos. But the chaotic nature makes you think she's a rebel when she's not a rebel. She's just liberal. She's not actually going against the system. She's just further adding to the system. She's just feeding it. She ain't going against it. She along with every agenda. I guarantee she believes in climate change. We're gonna read. She believes in the racism. She believes in all this stuff. I'm telling y'all, she's a liberal to the core. She ain't woke. None of that. She ain't a revolutionary. None of that. Religion. I want to go where she because I read where she became a priest and then she became Muslim. Hold on, let me try to find it. Oh man. I want to read that article I had. Maybe it's on this article. Because it was an article that I had on here. And it was basically her talking about how she became a Catholic priest and then turned around and became Muslim. Crazy. That's not it. Oh man, I can't find my article. Oh man. All right. All right. I'm gonna waste time looking for it. But anyway, I read in the article where she became a priest, and then when she passed away, she was Muslim. That's why she's wearing her hair covered, because she was Muslim. But again, anything to not be in a box. This is just liberal ideology, just chaos. That's all it is. And listen to what she said about Prince. Speaking about a relationship with Prince in an interview with Norwegian station NRK in November 2014, she said, "I did meet him a couple of times. We didn't get on at all. In fact, we had a punch up." She continued, "He summoned me to his house after Nothing Compares to You. I made it without him. I never met him. He summoned me to his house, and it's foolish to do this to an Irish woman. He said he didn't like me saying bad words in interviews, so I told him to F off. He got quite violent. I had to escape out of his house at 5 a.m. Now she's saying that, listen, he packed a bigger punch than mine. Now she's saying that Prince put his hands on her. Prince beat her up. In 2014 interview with Graham Norton, O'Connor claimed the story was much exaggerated by the press and referred to him as a sweet guy. In her 2021 memoir, Rememberings, O'Connor described her meeting with Prince in detail, which ranged from having his butler serve soup repeatedly despite no desire for soup, to hitting her with a hard object placed in a pillowcase after wanting a pillow fight, and stalking her with his car after she left the mansion. Again, this is what Sinead O'Connor is saying about Prince. So I know everybody wants to make her this, iconic figure. And not saying that she isn't musically, but as far as her views on the world, she was just a crazy. She was a nutcase liberal. Tweets about non-Muslims. After her conversion to Islam, O'Connor called those who were not Muslims disgusting and criticized Christians and Jewish theologians on Twitter in November 2018. She wrote, what I'm about to say is something so racist, I never thought my soul could ever feel it, but truly, I never want to spend time with white people again. If that's not non-Muslims, if that's what non-Muslims are called, not for one moment, for any reason, they are disgusting. Again, Sinead O'Connor is giving you typical liberal talk. She is against white people, and she's white. She literally white. She's like pale, ghostly white, like them things on Prometheus. Later that month, O'Connor stated that her remarks were made in an attempt to force Twitter to close down her account. In September 2019, she apologized for the remarks, saying they were not true at the time and they are not true now. I was triggered as a result of Islamophobia dumped upon me. I apologize for apologize for the hurt cause. That was one of many crazy tweets, Lord knows. Again, all I'm telling you all is she was crazy. That's all I'm saying. She was nuts. Thank you, Jahan, for the super sticker. She was nuts. But again, she went from being a Catholic priest to a Muslim. She went from being straight to being gay to then being a quarter gay. I'm telling you, all over the place. Typical liberal stuff. I'm just telling y'all. And so she gets praised for this one moment. But this one moment, as you can see, is an anomaly. What she did here is an anomaly. And to me, if you want my honest opinion, she did it for the controversy. She didn't do it because she actually felt passionate about what she was doing. I think she did it for the controversy. Just my opinion. Pamela Calhoun said, I didn't know anything about her, but I liked her music. Anna Valise said, nope, I don't believe that at all either. Pamela, I don't know anything about her. Hold on. How was she? I forgot all about her. Well, I mean, she was still making music. I think she was still songwriting and making music. Like I said, it's not about her artistry. This is about the fact that she's just an iconic figure. And I think we've learned from listening to people like Teach'em Chuck and Chad O. Jackson that these folks aren't who they appear to be, and she's no different. Like she's an icon for the quote unquote right, but she's not. She's literally a liberal. In 2017, she changed her legal name to Magda David, saying in an interview that she wished to be free from the patriarchal slave names, free of the paternal curses. On her conversion to Islam in October 2018, she adopted the name Shahada, and before mid-2019 also changed her surname from David to Sadat. So again, like I said, she's all over the place. I won't get into her many marriages, her many partners, different baby daddies. I know she tried to commit suicide. I know her son passed away in 2020. He committed suicide. And so she tried to commit suicide, and she was getting, she was doing drugs, all these different things. Okay, so on January 7th, 2022, O'Connor's son, Shane, died at the age of 17. She subsequently decided to cancel her 2022 tour and her album, No Veteran Dies. Hold on. I want to get to where she was talking about trying to commit suicide, being on drugs. And again, I'm not saying that her wanting to commit suicide and being on drugs makes her liberal. I'm just saying that her wanting to commit suicide and be on drugs and having liberal ideologies just magnifies what I think about her. And I think she's a con artist. I do. I think she might have been a talented musician, But as far as her being woke or conscious, she's a con artist. I don't believe her one bit. She's like that, just like all the rest of them. She had a facade. She had one moment, and everybody ran with it. The irony of her being against the Catholic priest, the Pope, but then becoming a priest. Like, I'm just telling y'all, like, it's just crazy. Gotta find it. Dublin Live, looking back. Looking back at when Sinead O'Connor was ordained as a priest. Now, I want you to think about how crazy this is, in that she's on Saturday Night Live and she pretty much condemned the Pope, which pretty much meant she condemned everything Catholic, because the Pope is seen as God in the flesh on the earth. I don't know if y'all know that, but the Pope is seen as God. So imagine her condemning the whole Catholic faith and then becoming a priest. Again, this is liberal behavior. It's just, you can be all over it. There's no consequence. You can be all over the place. You can be gay this day, straight tomorrow, non-binary. You can be Muslim. You can be Catholic. It don't matter. It's just whatever you feel like at the moment. It's what you can do. But let me go back to reading this. Exactly 23 years ago, on April 22nd, the singer-songwriter was ordained as a priest. O'Connor was ordained as a Latin Tridentine priest and took the name Mother Bernadette Marie. The ceremony that sparked both national and international interest took place in a hotel suite in Lourdes, France, and was performed by Bishop Michael Cox. The decision was not taken lightly by Sinead, stating at the time, a person shouldn't become a priest unless they take it dreadfully serious. The story sparked debate on whether women should be allowed to enter the priesthood. Upon her ordination, Sinead was given the ability to perform all the sacraments and even said Mass in Latin and English a number of times over the years. Just a couple of days after being ordained, O'Connor made an appearance on the Late Late Show for former presenter, Gabe Burns' final episode on April the 30th. Of course, her ordination was discussed, and she said, "What I call my Holy Trinity is I am a mother, I am a singer, and I am a priest. These things are equally sacred to me." So again, her Holy Trinity is I am a mother, I am a singer, I am a priest, which lets you know that she was also a feminist. So imagine Sinead O'Connor having everybody's hearts and minds thinking that she's this woke revolutionary, and she's literally a feminist. She literally believes in climate change. She literally believes in the propaganda of racism. She literally, so she said about Donald Trump. She was getting on Trump. Now, when Trump supposedly got the fake Peter pandemic, we know he didn't get it. She said, "I hope it takes him out." Well, she said, "I hope it takes him out." What she tweeted. Those are just comments to her. Let me go to another article where we can see her. Okay, so Sinead O'Connor now, at this point in time, this is 2020. This is 2020, and she's a Muslim. Now, keep in mind, if Sinead O'Connor was really woke, there's no way she would be cheering on Joe Biden becoming president. Like if Sinead O'Connor really knew what was going on, there's no way on God's green earth she would have been cheering on the presidency of Joe Biden. It is impossible. So look what she said. The 53-year-old singer, who identifies as Shahada Shadat, since converting to Islam in October 2018, has been an outspoken critic of Trump throughout his time in office. Now, how is that Sinead O'Connor is falling for the propaganda? She once compared him to the devil after he refused to denounce white supremacists, which again, she never watched the video. She's not woke. She's not conscious. She's just a liberal puppet. She once compared him to the devil after he refused to denounce white supremacists, and also courted controversy by tweeting, "Thank you, God," in response to the news Trump had tested positive for the Peter pandemic. So it was hardly a surprise to see the Nothing Compares to You singer celebrating as Trump's final few hours in office played out on television. It began with commentary on Trump's farewell speech that O'Connor was left thoroughly unconvinced and unimpressed with. The peace part of Trump's farewell speech reminds me of how we all used to drone out the Hail Mary in Irish at school, she tweeted, thoroughly bored. As Trump took to the sky in Air Force One, the Irish musician joked, with any luck, they'll fly him off to Mars. I don't think I have ever seen a human being apart from Trump who actually looks worse when they smile, she added in a follow-up tweet. Now, keep in mind, Sinead O'Connor, who's supposed to be woke, is falling for all of the propaganda. Climate change, the racism narrative, the slander of Trump, like she's falling for all of it. But y'all think she's woke. She ain't woke. She ain't conscious. She ain't a revolutionary. She is a liberal to the core. Then as the plane disappeared in the distance, O'Connor tweeted, "Yay, he's gone," alongside a link with the video, The Mavericks hit dance the night away. Then she said good riddance, that he was gone. O'Connor canceled her planned tour late last year, which is in 2021, because of trauma and addiction. Again, she was supposed to be Muslim, but she was doing drugs. So again, I say all this to say that Sinead O'Connor is not who we thought she was. In that moment that she tore that picture up, that was not done with good intent. It was done to do what it did, to make her a controversial figure forever. She knew it. Like, think about it. It's a picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live. You're going to go on in infamy forever, and she knew it. Think about it. From that moment, she gets the credibility of being woke. Now, I got somebody on here saying that I'm ridiculing her. Can someone tell me one thing I said that ridiculed Sinead O'Connor? Tell me one thing that I said is ridiculing Sinead O'Connor. Did I say she was a bad person? Did I say she was evil? Did I say she was wicked? Did I say she was stupid? Tell me one thing I said that I ridiculed Sinead O'Connor. See, what happens is that when the truth is revealed, most people reject it because it's convicting. Nobody wants to hear that their hero was a fraud. Nobody wants to hear it. But when I say it, people get upset, but I'm just reading what's already out there. You just didn't read it. I didn't ridicule Sinead O'Connor. I don't know her. But what I do know is she was a Muslim after she was a Catholic priest, after she condemned the Pope. If you condemn the Pope, you condemn Catholicism, because the Catholics look at the Pope as God on earth. So how do you go from condemning the Catholic Church, condemning all the quote unquote pedophilia in the church, and then you become a Catholic priest? We got to be honest. She condemned the pedophilia of the Catholic Church and then became a priest. And then she said the Holy Trinity was her being a mother, her being a singer, and her being a Catholic priest. I can't say anything. You're saying she had trauma and mental illness. I'm telling you that's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. She didn't have trauma when she tore the picture up. When she had the #1 single, she didn't have trauma or mental illness. When she had the #1 song in the world, Nobody said she had trauma or mental illness, even though she was walking around in a flower sundress and combat boots with a shaved head. Nobody ever said she was mental illness. Nobody ever said she had mental illness. She was walking around, shaved head, combat boots, sundress, and not one time did y'all say she was mentally ill. Y'all said she was a genius songwriter. Y'all said she was bold. Y'all said she was brave. She's revolutionary. When I started actually looking into her life and the things she did and said, now I'm the bad guy. Now I got to give her a pass for trauma and mental illness. I will not. I rebuke that. I rebuke that. I rebuke it. She was a liberal to the core. She was a feminist. She was a part of the LGBTQ movement. She was a climate change activist. She was a social justice warrior. She was Muslim. She was all over the place. And to top it all of a cherry on top, she supported Joe Biden getting into office. That's the cherry on top of all the other stuff. I guarantee she was a socialist. Guarantee it. I rebuke it. So I'm not giving her a pass. I'm going to just give her the same thing I would give anybody else or myself. She was a very hypocritical person, which is the typical liberal. This is what liberals do. They're all over the place. She was Muslim. She was Muslim, but she was doing drugs. So again, thank you, Bree, for the super sticker. Why it won't come up? Why can't I post it? So again, I know we all hate to see our heroes fall, but imagine what I went through over these past 3 years when I found out that everybody I thought was somebody was a fraud. Imagine me finding out that Malcolm X was a fraud. Imagine me finding out that MLK was a fraud. Imagine me finding out that Marcus Garvey was a fraud. Imagine me finding out the Black Panthers was a fraud. Imagine me finding out that all of my heroes were frauds. The only way you hold on to that lie is that you are still talking to Satan. There's no way you reject the truth if you're talking to God. It's no way. In fact, you're talking to God, you welcome the truth. So again, that's Sinead O'Connor in a nutshell. And I don't have anything against Sinead O'Connor, but I saw a lot of people, posting her and celebrating her, not for her artistry, but for her being quote unquote a revolutionary and her quote unquote being woke. And it's just not true. Sinead O'Connor was a socialist, feminist, LGBTQ propaganda person, pro Biden, pro liberal ideologies. She was a priest. She was Muslim. She was on drugs. She was suicidal. It was a lot of stuff. That's what I mean. A bad tree can't bear fruit. So that viral moment that she had on SNL, I don't buy it. I don't believe it came from a genuine place because a bad tree can't bear good fruit. And so we saw that since then, I only see bad fruit from her. How do you condemn pedophilia in the Catholic Church and then become a priest? Like, that's just the most egregious thing you could do. And then you become Muslim. And then you get on drugs as a Muslim. Come on, man. We can't do it. We can't do it. Then she said Prince beat her up. She said Prince beat her up. And then came back and said the media said it. She said Prince beat her up. And then came back and said the media said it. I'm just saying. She was married 4 times. She had 5 partners. I'm just saying, man, it's some chaos going on. It's being chaotic. It's not mental illness. It's just giving away to chaos. This is what happens. Most liberal people are chaotic because they don't really have a foundation or a standard. It's however they feel in the moment. So they could be this on today and be this tomorrow. No consequence. Somebody said she was always on drugs. I don't know. I don't know. All I'm saying is the image that we have of Sinead O'Connor is fake. It's not real. I'm sorry. She's not who we think she is. And today, my timeline was filled with people calling her some kind of rebel, revolutionary, based, woke, conscious. She's none of those things. None of them. If you just go look up her ideologies and what she believed in, she believes in everything the left believes in to the extreme. She's an extreme liberal. She's far left. Far left. She believed the media. Even during the Peter pandemic, she was living in the mountains in Ireland. She didn't want to get close to she even fell for the Peter pandemic. So I know she got that snake bite. She even fell for the Peter pandemic propaganda. So I know she got that snake bite because she was hiding in the mountains during the height of the Peter pandemic. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. Can't do it. She was liberal. That's all. She was liberal. And I'm not saying she can't be liberal. I'm not saying she's not a great artist. I'm just saying who y'all think she was, she wasn't. May she rest in peace. Hope she found God for the end. Hope she didn't pass away praying to Allah. Hope she didn't pass away trying to see Muhammad. Hope not. I hope she passed away and was speaking with the Messiah. That's what I hope. Hope she was talking to Christ. Hope she was talking to Yeshua. That's what I hope. Hope she wasn't talking to Muhammad. You know. But again, what we're going to find is that all of our heroes from the past were all fake and contrived because the real heroes never would have got the spotlight. The real heroes never would have get the stage. There's somebody on here right now. There's folks on Instagram and YouTube right now that I consider heroes of our time. And they'll probably never get mentioned. In the big scheme of things, they'll probably never get mentioned in what's going on. And they're actually real heroes. Actually, folks that are on the right side of history in real time that might not ever get mentioned. So again, most of the folks that we know from the past, it's all fake. They're all frauds. I'm talking about Sinead O'Connor. Talking about Sinead O'Connor. I wanna read. Let me go to a video. I want to read. Okay, yeah, here we go. Ice Cube.
I read some story about you, and the subtext is always the same, which is, stay in your lane.
I wouldn't be here if I stayed in my lane. I just never wanted to have.
You asked a good question. Why they die and some are living? Well, what you gotta understand is that most of these people are murdered due to an agenda. And it's not because of what they were fighting for, because it's all contrived. So, like, for example, MLK was made a martyr. Like Malcolm X, these people, they're made martyrs. They're not actually dying for the cause. They're just dying because people want them to be martyrs. So Teach 'em Chuck even says it, how the Communist Party loves a martyr. And so they make these folks martyrs, not because of what they're actually doing. Everything they're doing is controlled. I remember when I was watching the Malcolm X documentary on Netflix, I think Who Killed Malcolm X? And it was funny. There was one clip in there where the same thing the media was saying about Malcolm X was the exact same thing Elijah Muhammad was saying. And I thought to myself, I said, how is it possible for Elijah Muhammad, who is anti-American be saying the exact same thing the media is saying, word for word. The media was saying that Malcolm X was violent. Elijah Muhammad was saying that Malcolm X was violent. The media was saying that Malcolm X preached violence. Elijah Muhammad, like they were saying the exact same thing. And so to me, even when it comes to Malcolm X didn't lead the Nation of Islam because he found out that Elijah Muhammad was messing with little girls and getting them pregnant. That's not why he left. He left because he couldn't speak. So again, even though we want to pop these people up, Malcolm X left because he couldn't talk. He didn't leave because of what he found out. And I've already discussed this. I'm not going back into it. But when he found out this was going on, he didn't leave. He still wanted to go out there and speak again. So that means he would have been in front of the people talking, speaking the great word, but in the back, he would have been knowing that his leader, the guy that he followed, was molesting children. And on top of even more, he would have been paying homage to him. He would have been giving all due respect to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, knowing he was messing with little girls. But you all tell me I can't hold him accountable for that. I rebuke it. Because if I did it, y'all would condemn me. So I'm going to hold him accountable. I got to hold everybody else accountable. He don't get a pass either. Again, most of your leaders that you know from the past were frauds. Because a person that really is truly a leader, they got to be forced to lead. Anybody willing to lead, I don't trust them. I only trust a man is willing to be the leader of his family. And to me, that's not even being willing to lead. That's just part of who you are as a man. But anybody telling somebody, I want to go out there and lead the people, I don't trust them, because who wants to lead? Who wants to have the arduous task of serving the people? A bunch of folks who don't deserve it, a bunch of folks who are ignorant and misinformed, don't know anything and emotional. Who wants the task to lead them? Most folks don't even want it. So a person saying, I'll step up for the challenge, I want the task, I don't trust them. So again, yes, and Malcolm X prostituted with men as well. I'm not holding his past against him, because I guess every man can be reformed, but I'm saying, forget his past. I'm judging him on what he did when he was in the Nation of Islam. I don't care about when he was red. I care about what he did in the Nation of Islam. And when he was there, Elijah Muhammad messing with children did not make him want to leave, did not make him denounce it. So again, that is a character issue. Sinead O'Connor rips up the picture of the Pope, but then becomes a Catholic priest. She rips up the picture of the Pope, because she said of the child molestation, and then she joins the organization that she condemned all those years prior. So again, I judge folks on their actions, not my feelings about them, on what they actually do and what they actually say. I don't have an emotional attachment to Malcolm X. I don't have an emotional attachment to Sinead O'Connor. Either one of them. I'm just telling you what they said and what they did. Now, somebody said, I was born a leader. Now, I know only a foolish man would say this, because wisdom would tell you that a leader has to be taught. Nobody's born anything. We're just born in sin. But leadership has to be taught. To think that someone is born a leader signifies that you are born with the qualifications to lead. That's Satan talking. That's something that Satan would say. You're born a leader. Leadership has to be earned. You got to be taught how to be a leader. You got to be taught what it means to be of service. You got to be taught humility. You got to be taught to be unselfish. You got to be taught these character attributes. You're not born with them. We come out the womb selfish. We come out the womb wanting to be comfortable, wanting to be warm, wanting to be fed, and wanting attention. We come out the womb selfish. So to say that somebody was born a leader is to say that I'm talking to Satan. I know it sounds good to say, but leadership is taught. Just like manhood is taught. These things are taught. You're not just jumping out with nothing. These things are taught, because in learning those things, you build character. So this person on IG doesn't have any wisdom or discernment. You said, I thought Elijah Muhammad got some young women pregnant. So young but legal. So give me a legal age, Anna Lavisa. Give me an age you think was legal and appropriate. Give me an appropriate legal age. Now you know Muslims believe they can mess with the girl when she starts her cycle. You know they believe they can take the girl when she starts her cycle. So you give me an appropriate age to mess with a young girl. But fly with with Vaseline, that's my point. She did things for attention. It wasn't genuine. She wasn't based or conscious or woke. It was all attention seeking. That's my point about her. She's just a liberal. Oh no. No. Oh no. 18. Oh no. Oh no. These was young girls. These was girls. Oh no. 8. Oh no. 18, 21. No, heck no. These girls was young. These like teenagers. No, we talking about like 14. Come on. Come on. 18 to 21. Oh no. Oh. Uh-uh. Let me y'all know that Elijah Muhammad met with the KKK? Listen, I just encourage you all to go watch Teach 'em Chuck so you can just see all of your heroes in their true light, in their true unpropagandized light, if that's even a word. So I want y'all to listen to Teach 'em Chuck break these folks down. Elijah Muhammad met with the KKK. All them black leaders met with them white supremacist groups because they're on the same team. Elijah Muhammad flew around in a private jet. Yeah. Elijah Muhammad had 23 children, and he had at least 9 extramarital affairs, and he had children with them. Elijah Muhammad met with the KKK in 1961 to work towards the purchase of farmland in the Deep South. Now, why would the KKK want to work with Elijah Muhammad to buy some land? Y'all told me they was racist. Now, why would the KKK want to work with Elijah Muhammad to buy some farmland? Listen, I'm just telling y'all the truth. All your heroes are frauds. I'm sorry. Let me go to try to find the ages of these girls. I just want the ages. Yeah, they were considered girls. So I'm going to say young girls. I'm going to say, I don't know the exact ages, but I'm going to say well under 18 years old. I'm going to say babies. I'm going to say little girls. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say girls. So Edna asks, I have a question to ask you, Blanche, anyone. Is it a sin to serve in the U.S. military as a Christian? I've been wanting to join the military for years, but have discouraged by some saying it's bad. Edna, I would ask you to please do me a favor and go to God yourself with that. I don't want to tell you whether it's a sin or not. I do want to just say that you should go to God and ask God, and God will reveal the truth to you if you should join or not. Do I believe that, you know, we are to be limited to certain sectors of society? No. My personal opinion. The country needs defending. We can all agree to that. So I don't know how if the country needs defending, that we, you know, don't defend it. I don't know. Maybe we should have an army of prayer warriors. I don't know. But I would say take it to God. I would say pray over it. I would say fast over it. That's what I would say. But my point was to say that your leaders are compromised, because to whom much is given, that much more is required. So you're banking on the person that wants to lead you, that he's going to be far superior when it comes to character and morals than you. That's a tough task to ask, because most people are leading compromised people. So it's almost impossible for you to want to be righteous when everybody that's following you is unrighteous. It's almost impossible for you to want to be righteous if the person that you are following is unrighteous. So that's my thoughts on that. Here we go with Ice Cube.
That life, you know, I never wanted to be controlled.
How many times have you been pulled aside by people who are trying to control you?
What they usually do is go talk to people that's in, you know, my circle, and try to get them to try to convince them that they need to convince me that I need to take a different position. So that's kind of how I get it.
On what topics?
You know, it's been on, you know, the vaccine.
Now, Ice Cube is in a car. I'm going to assume it could be for some reason I feel like it's a Tesla, but maybe it's not. But he has a Monster energy drink hat on. He's in the car with a Monster energy drink hat on. Now, my question is, how woke and conscious can you be if you're supporting a company that has a drink that is unhealthy for its consumers? And folks have said that the Monster sign is a sign of Satan. I don't know, some mark of the beast sign or whatever. I don't know about all that. I'm just saying that he's advertising for corporate America. So just know that he's telling you he's a rebel on one hand, but he's advertising for corporate America on the other hand. So my question is he really who he says he is? Jahan said, Khalid Abdul Muhammad said Ice Cube melted on him when they came to shut him down during the speech. What you mean he melted? He cowered out? What you mean he cowered out? He showed who he really was? He got scared? So anyway, so Ice Cube, for you all to know, Ice Cube is in a car with Carlson Tucker. Again, these are media people. And listen, I like Ice Cube. I like Carlson Tucker. But I know they're part of the machine, though. Like, listen, I like some of these people. Like, I like them as like, I like, you know, listening to, watching, because it's entertaining. But they're part of the machine, though. So I don't have any ill will towards Ice Cube or Carlson Tucker, but Ice Cube was in a car with Carlson Tucker advertising for Monster energy drink. So already off the top, he can't be a rebel because he's siding with corporate America. Let's continue, though. Oh, my bad. My bad. Is it Carlson Tucker? My bad. Tucker, I don't know. Anyway, Ice Cube made hundreds of millions in this industry. Let's continue.
The Hollywood Reporter says actor Ice Cube is saying no to a $9 million payday because he won't say yes to the COVID vaccine. The actor and rapper was set to co-star in a new comedy, Oh Hell No, alongside Jack Black. But when producers requested all cast members get a COVID vaccine, Ice Cube backed out.
Why wouldn't you take the vax? You had a direct order to take it. You were told to take it.
Yeah, I'm not real good with direct orders, but on a whole nother note,
but it was a command.
I
mean, they told. I'm sorry, they told.
Now imagine Ice Cube in a car with the translucent roof. The whole roof is a moon roof. Palm trees in the background. Literally, he's riding in a car. Palm trees in the background. It's probably a Tesla or something. Translucent roof with Tucker Carlson. And he want you to believe he's a rebel. Advertising for Monster Energy drink. He wants you to believe in the picturesque California sun, riding down Sunset, palm trees in the back, that he's a rebel fighting the system. I couldn't ask for a more scene to depict the epitome of being bought and sold by the system. I couldn't ask for a better image of someone being a part of the system, working for the system. Somebody said it's okay. Cube, Ice, and Carlson Tucker. Okay. So again, they want you to believe that they're fighting against the system. But I'm telling you now, anybody that knows what's really going on, you're going to be very sober. You're going to be very sober-minded. All this laughing and joking and kikiing with the sunset and the palm trees and the electric vehicles in California having a great, this is not how it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of nights when you talking to God, wondering what your purpose is, what should you do, what should your next move be, questioning your faith, questioning your strength. All this stuff goes on when you really know what's going on. When you're a part of the system, this is what happens. You get to laugh and joke. Believing you're going to have a seat at the table, but you'll never get it. Everybody working with these people are going to get their head cut off. Mark my words.
I mean, they couldn't have been clearer about it.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. Did you take it?
Of course not.
Yeah, no. It wasn't ready, you know. It was 6 month, you know, kind of rush job. And I didn't feel safe.
But they told you were safe.
Now, again, look at now listen, this is all scripted. They're not talking freely. They're going off a talking point. So this conversation, they went over. So before they got on camera, they rehearsed this. This ain't no live impromptu, hop in the car and let's talk. This is all scripted and rehearsed. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these folks are working for the system. I'm sorry. Ice Cube included. When it came time to talk about the election, Tucker Carlson didn't say nothing. He was quiet. Ice Cube was silent. Why were all these folks so quiet about the election and the Peter pandemic? Why are they talking now? Dr. Mercola just lost his Chase, Manhattan, all his banks with Chase, man. He's been with him 18 years. They just cut everything off for him. They did me the same way. So my question is, where were these folks at 3 years ago? Why did they have this ride along in the car in 2020? In November 2020, they should have been riding in the car talking about all this stuff. Why now? Because the system has approved it. because the system is getting ready to tell you what's going to take place. See, I got penalized, and I get penalized for telling you all ahead of time. Everything I'm telling you all, they're going to tell you, but I'm doing it too fast. They want to do it in their time when you're already compromised. You can't do anything. I'm telling you why you still got a chance. You're going to look on my Instagram right now and see all the videos that got me demonetized. They either deal with Black culture or they deal with men not being whoremongers. Those two types of videos. Demonetized. Now, why would the videos talking about Black culture and men shouldn't be whoremongers, men should take responsibility and be real men, be with one woman, get married, have children, why would those videos get me demonetized? Why would a message of men not being whoremongers and Black folks taking accountability and recognizing the destructive nature of Black culture, why would those videos get me demonetized? Why would the system want those two talking points silenced? I'll tell you why. Because the white liberal controls Black people through Black culture. And the system knows that everybody got this snake bite, is able to spread this stuff through sex. So if I come in there and say, listen, y'all need to be abstinent, wait till marriage, that destroys the plan. Let's continue.
I know what they said. I know what they said. And
Tucker talked about the election until he was silenced, until they said, you got to stop. The whole Fox didn't stop talking about it. It wasn't just Tucker Carlson. The whole Fox stopped talking about it. You can go look at this stuff in real time. You can go look at what he said about it, when Fox stopped talking about it, and when they started back up. It's all documented. You can go look at the timelines. You can go to YouTube. They were given orders to not talk about that election. And then after the fact, when they were able to, they could talk about it. So again, I don't have to go to history. I was alive during this history right now. I was alive. So can't nobody come and tell me what somebody said or what somebody didn't do. None of that. I was alive during this time period. I saw it all. So I know who was saying stuff, who wasn't, who was opening their mouth, who was running and hiding, who came out after they got the snake bite, who still held out and didn't get it. I saw who got demonetized, who got their platform snatched. I saw it all. I saw it all. Let's continue.
I heard them loud and clear. But it's not their decision. There's no repercussions if they're wrong. But I get all the repercussions if they're wrong.
Was it a tough call for you?
No, it wasn't a tough call. I wanted to be an example for my kids. Really make sure they didn't take it either. Show them that I wanted to stand on my convictions and that I was willing, to lose $9 million and more, because we've probably lost more.
Now, he said something very interesting here. He said, lose $9 million and I probably lost more. What deals were on the table besides the $9 million? Which I believe is a fabricated story. I don't believe the story. I believe the story is a talking, again. The media is not going to come out and say it. They're going to all they're going to do is set the stage. These celebrities are going to push this thing of the snake bite is not good. We already saw the unholy alliance of big pharma, big tech, and big government. We've already seen this. We saw big pharma, big tech, big government, and Hollywood. They all came together on the same page about this Peter pandemic, all of them. Now we want to believe that those same four entities have now separated and they're back to normal. I don't know about you all, but they will never get credibility from me again, ever. Never. Ever. Ever.
Since then,
The idea is that people who stand on their convictions are heroes. They're brave. They have principles. You know, they're the people we look to for inspiration. But in this case, with this decision and these principles, you were not hailed as a hero.
No.
You were attacked.
So why won't you get the vaccine, man?
Hey, look, man, I'd just rather be myself than take that vaccine like you other 3 billion bozos.
I never told anyone not to get vaccinated publicly. That was never my message to the world. I didn't even want people to know whether I got vaccinated or not. I was pretty upset that that even came out because I was just gonna.
No. When I say talk about, so I'm gonna say what I'm saying in context. These people didn't get on TV and say it was stolen, period. They didn't. They couldn't. They couldn't do it. I'm not talking about playing semantics. I'm talking about questioning this question. I'm talking about come out and saying it. They couldn't do it. What I'm saying is these folks are able to talk now because they are allowed to speak. That's my point. They are allowed to talk. This is all in context. They weren't talking then. They're not telling you something you didn't already know. Nobody got on TV and said it was stolen. Period. And we got to do something about it. People made jokes about it. They talked around it. Same with the Peter pandemic. I was alive in real time. I saw it. So talking around something is not talking about it. Tiptoeing around something is not talking about it. Anything other than the truth is not talking about it. Because the truth was, we know what happened. He got that hook mouth in this picture.
Quietly, you know, just not take it and deal with the consequences as they came.
Do you know anyone who was injured by the vaccine?
I do. And they suffer every day. And it's hard to watch.
Now, P. Dot, you heard what he said. Now, he didn't want anybody to know whether or not he took it or not, but he's telling you that it's harming people. So let me get this straight. You would know that you could potentially save people from being harmed, but you elect not to. Why? What's keeping you from telling the general public the truth? I'll tell you why. It wasn't approved for him to say it. It wasn't approved. All these folks said, I'm going to just be quiet. It's not good enough because you'll tell me on the street it's doing this, this, and this. But on TV, you won't say nothing about it. I got a problem with that because you're no different than the folks that's pushing it. Because Ice Cube has a voice. And again, I go back to black people. Had black people took to the streets, this outcome would have been totally different. I blame this whole Peter pandemic on black people because black folks fought supposedly this whole time. And then when the real fight came, black folks remained silent. But not just remained silent, they lined up. Thank you, Imagine No Colors. Why wouldn't he just say, don't do it, if he felt so strongly about it? If you felt so strongly that you didn't want your family to take it, you didn't want your children to take it, you didn't want them to have a bad image of you, if you know all these reasons, then why wouldn't you share that with the world? I'll tell you why. Because he didn't want to have the consequence. I don't believe that $9 million story. I just don't believe it. I don't believe this stuff. There's a girl She's a former member of the Pussycat Dolls. That young lady, if you go listen to her, forgot her name, she's a redhead one. She has a child, she has a son. She took the snake bite. Said she's been harmed by it. She said, I got evil coursing through my body. And I'm not going to rest until I let the whole world know what this is. That is a person that's convicted. But y'all didn't know she said it. You know why you know she said it? You know why? Because she won't get to sit down with Tucker Carlson. That's why. She won't get to sit down on these major meetings. That's why. She won't get to do it. Because she's convicted. She said, I'm going to fight this till I die. That's conviction. What I see now ain't conviction. I see convenience. It's two different things. Conviction doesn't matter what time of the day it is, what day of the week it is, what month of the year it is, what year it is, who's around, who's watching, who's listening. Conviction is on site every day, all day. Convenience is I'm going to speak out when the machine says I can, which is what you see now as they ride down the street with palm trees in the roof, telling y'all how much of rebels they are against the system.
Suffering in silence is not the answer all the time. You know, sometimes you gotta let people know what's going on.
This man just said all that and then says suffering in silence is not the answer all the time. Suffering in silence is never the answer, because you're only suffering because your spirit is telling you to go out there and tell the people, but you're a coward and you don't want to do it. That's why you're suffering. So really what he should have said was being a coward is never good any other time. As he's walking around with a Monster drink hat on, advertising for corporate America, advertising for a beverage company that's putting poison in people's body. They're buying and drinking it willingly, but you get my point. You can't tell me you're revolutionary and you cashing checks from the system. I'm sorry.
So you can actually move the needle. Choose to be vocal. If it's true, why can't I say it?
Well, you can't say it because it is true.
Again. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. If I was in the car with Tucker Carlson, if I'm in the car with him, what do y'all think I'm gonna say? If I'm in the car with good old Tuck, what do y'all think I would be saying? I'm in the car with the translucent roof, palm trees in the back, Tucker Carlson right there asking me questions. What do y'all think I would say? Do y'all think I would say something like, I mean, why can't we tell the truth? Or would I just be telling the truth? Or would they have to say, cut. Kill the camera. I'm just asking. Listen, I'm not on neither one of these guys' level. But if I'm in the car with Tucker Carlson and we riding and he asking me questions, he finna get it all. I'm like, how long this ride gonna be? I got a lot to say.
There it is. Now that's the problem with the world today.
There's no penalty for lying. No one's ever punished for lying. It's only telling the truth that gets you in trouble.
Ain't that something?
But here goes the funny part. The truth has always gotten you in trouble. It's just your history is so fake, you believe that the folks were lying were actually getting the consequence. The truth has always gotten folks in trouble. That's why most of the truth tellers, you never know who they are. You don't even know who they are. You ain't even heard of them. You heard Alex Haley said, most of the history is fake. It ain't real. So again, Ice Cube's in this interview, but he's still tiptoeing. They still tap dancing. As he has on a hat that's pledging his allegiance to corporate America. And many folks say that the monster hat is 666. Thank you, Rena Bina, for the super sticker. Thank you so much.
That's true.
Yeah, that is so true.
Thinking something is not a crime. Saying it is not a crime. You know what I mean? So I just tell what's real. You know, if the truth hurts, say ouch.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying the truth then. It was all propaganda. Ice Cube is one of the founders of degeneracy in our community. He was in a group titled Niggas with Attitudes. So that put the word nigga on every black child's mouth. Off rip. Everybody was allowed to say the N-word based on NWA. If you go listen to that first NWA album, it is literally an album filled with death, destruction, damnation, decadence. Literally, it's filled with it. The most egregious and awful things you will ever hear on that album. So has Ice Cube atoned for his sins for that first album? No. I encourage all of you all to go listen to the first NWA album, and you're going to be horrified at what they were saying. But he's telling you, he's telling the truth. The same guy that took a deal with St. Ives malt liquor, encouraging black folks to drink liquor. So not only are you encouraging black folks to be decadent and destructive, you also encourage them to drink St. Ives, but as you practice Islam and be healthy. These are y'all heroes. Thank you, P. Dot. Cube is scared of the gatekeepers. They have him under control. They made an example of his friend who died of AIDS, blood sacrifice. Thank you. Cube ain't talking about I'm going to go on tour exposing the gatekeepers. Man, please. He a gatekeeper. The irony of Cube calling somebody a gatekeeper, and he's a gatekeeper. You know how much power he got in Hollywood? He's a gatekeeper. Angel Wing says they are actors playing a role. The camera never stops. Just ask those reality TV stars. Kenya said it's true. My parents would play it in the house at parties just every day. I know. Rena Bina said, I ain't listening to that. I don't blame you, but I'm just telling you. Well, technically, Ice Cube wasn't rocking with Trump. Ice Cube met with Trump's team, and Trump's team said they would give his plan $500 million. So basically, they said they were going to roll the plan for Black America into the Platinum Plan and give $500 million. Now, the Platinum Plan was for, I want to say, $3 billion. It was for 500. I forgot the specs. I gotta look at it again. But Ice Cube really wasn't rolling. He stated he really wasn't with Trump or the Democrats. He wasn't really with either one. He was just for quote unquote black people, but it really means you a Democrat. But you know, he wasn't really with Trump. But anyway, but my point is that Ice Cube saw quickly that his plan for Black America got shot down by none other than black people. The irony of black folks shooting down the plan for Black America. So Ice Cube found out real quick that you can't help these black folks. Anything that will help black people, they're gonna reject it. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna start saying this. Black folks don't need a specified plan. There is no plan that black folks need that everybody else don't need. Black folks are under no extra undue pressure, no extra oppression that they haven't placed on themselves. See, the problem is that black folks aren't being taught how to not oppress themselves. That's the issue. Everything they do is oppressive. Who they follow, who they vote for, who they're entertained by, what they consume, it's all oppression. So again, black folks have to reject that which has made them black. I got another one right here. I got another one.
With you a little bit. Obama.
Oh, yes.
Do you or do you not take the stance he didn't do nothing for black people?
Interestingly enough, not enough black people have researched what he actually has or has not done. The thing is, he didn't do the thing that he should have done, which is what everybody's mad about, which is reparations. No black man would become president of the United States of America and do the very thing that helped America maintain her superiority over the very people that she enslaved. I'm not going to give you the thing that validates the evil that I did to you, put you in a position to do it, and then make myself look bad. It's not happening. I'm not going to give you reparations, and not for damn sure I'm not going to let a black man do it. He would have been assassinated.
Come on, man.
Obama, Teach 'em Chuck has a video right now out about Obama. Obama is probably the closest thing we've seen to the Antichrist. Rizza Islam is still operating under a false pretense that Obama is even black. He's still operating under a false pretense that Obama is even black. Now, we know Obama's father wasn't Kenyan. He was that agent who I guess is quote unquote black, but his mom is still white. So Obama's biracial. But I'm inclined to say that that one drop rule was racism. And black folks ran with it. Black folks have ran with one drop of blood making you black. It became a symbol of pride, and it's absolute garbage. It was a way for white folks to discourage the race mixing. This is from the racist white people. They said, if you got one drop of blood in you from a nigger, you black. So that makes everybody stay away from black folks. That's what it's for. It wasn't no science behind it. Think about it. What scientist could say one drop would make somebody anything? It's foolish. It's absolute foolishness. But again, Rizza Islam will tell you that Obama would have been assassinated, but he ain't assassinated. Rizza Islam will tell you that he's fighting against the system. Rizza Islam is going against the system. He's going against the shots. He's going against all, even though he still wears a mask, he's going against all of this. He's still living. So how is he still walking around? He's winning court cases. He about 6'6". Stand out in the crowd. Got that wet and wavy on top. How is he still around? How is Farrakhan still around? So again, clearly Obama was picked by the system. It's okay. Teach 'em Chuck has a video and he goes into Obama's communist roots and socialist roots. Obama was groomed to do what he did. It wasn't by chance. He was groomed for this. Barry Soetoro's. He's a chameleon. You can play videos of Obama speaking this way. He got about 5 different dialects. He can sound like he's from the South, sound like he went to Harvard, like he got 5 different dialects and tones, inflections. So Obama wouldn't have been assassinated. He's part of the system. Matter of fact, Obama is still in office. How about that? Obama is still in office. The irony of what Rizza Islam is saying, and Obama is still in office, serving his third term. I said it.
Very clear. There's a layer as to how this works. One, he was selected before he was elected. Two, he's in the same seat that Nixon was in, same seat that Reagan was in, same seat that JFK was in. You think the seat changes? No, just because.
Same seat that Clinton was in. Same seat that Biden is in. Same seat that Carter was in. You think America was racist and the first black president got 2 terms? Are you crazy? Are you nuts?
Because you put a black face on white supremacy doesn't make it black supremacy. No, the seat doesn't change. This is the modern Rome, the modern Babylon. This is the modern Sodom and Gomorrah. He did not have the power to change this system. When a president is selected, when they go into the White House, there are already a preset number of things and items that are to be done underneath that president's regime. Certain things that they put down that they want to be done under this person. Under Obama, kill Muammar Gaddafi. Under Obama, initiating the gay marriage circumstance. Now, does he need to take responsibility for his part? Abso-freaking-lutely. But he also is up against the very same.
About to make an excuse for him. Should he be held accountable? Sure. But I mean, he is black going against the system, so you really can't blame him. Listen, man, Rizza Islam is working for the system too.
I want to get into this with you.
He is too. Rizza Islam is working for the system too. We may have time for one more video. I was tagged in this video several times today. We're going to play it.
I have a
Oh, not this one.
That's
sorry.
right.
Not this one. Not this one. Not that one. I got to save that one. Not 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 that one. I don't see the video. Oh, shit. I don't see the video. Is it?
1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 1947, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism.
So, if the medical industry is so racist, and let him tell it, the government wanted you to die off, then why did y'all line up and get that shot? Let's assume everything this man is saying is true. If everything he is saying is true, then why did black people line up and get that shot? Universal health care is communism. Universal basic income is communism. Depending on the government for your medical needs is suicide. Depending on the government for your medical needs is suicide. Universal health care is not what you think it is. It's communism. what kind of care do you think you're going to get if everybody has something? If they make college education free, a degree won't be worth anything. Same concept. Once everybody can afford something, it's no longer popular. That's how this stuff works. So again, if the government wanted you all to be extinct and the medical industry is already racist, then why'd y'all get that shot? Dear Black people, why did you all get that snake bite? If you're telling me that the government wanted you extinct in 3 generations and that the medical industry is racist. You see, I can use that snake bite to cut through every complaint that Black folks have and nullify it. Because that snake bite touches all the topics, all of them. So if you really believed in my body, my choice, you wouldn't have got this shot. See, I could pick any topic. So dear Black people, if what this man is saying is true, that they didn't want y'all to have Medicare and Medicaid, which ain't true. But if what he's saying is true, and the medical industry is racist, and everybody's out to get you, then why in the world would y'all line up and get that shot? If the police out to get you, and the government's out to get you, and the medical industry's out to get you, and the so-called media's out to get you, if everything in America is bent on your demise and destruction, then why would y'all line up and expedite the process? I'll tell you why. Because deep down inside, you already don't believe it. You don't believe what he's saying, because if you really did, you wouldn't have got that shot. I can put this shot up as exhibits A through Z on any complaint or issue Black folks have and shut them all down. Why did you line up? Not only did y'all line up, but you put pressure on your fellow brother and sister. Not only did you put pressure on your fellow brother and sister, but you also put it inside the children. So my question is, why did y'all go so far for an evil and wicked system that y'all said was bent on y'all demise? Why did y'all go all the way to even involve the children? I'll tell you why. Because deep down inside, y'all really don't believe it. That's why. Ain't nobody targeting Black folks to do nothing but spread propaganda. That's what Black folks are used for. Black folks are used to get the rest of the world to fall in line. That's it. That's it. They said if we can get them to do it, we can get everybody else to do it. That's why all the propaganda is pushed on Black people. All of it. Heavily. That's why when the trans come up, they ride right behind Black folks. When the gays come up, right behind Black folks. Abortion is health care, right behind Black folks. Social justice movement, right behind Black folks. Climate change, right behind Black folks. So again, y'all ain't special. Thank you, Patrick. Marjorie Taylor Greene said it best. We need a national divorce. The only way we're going to remedy all of this is to separate. Because once you separate, it's going to be very clear who's who. I'm telling y'all now, a lot of folks are posing like they really really against what's going on. They're not. They're not. Most folks say they this, they that, they not. I know somebody's talking real when they say national divorce and secession. Separation. Get away from these people. That's how we know it's real. Now, the irony of this man saying that The irony of this man saying that the government wanted to kill off black folks in 3 generations, and over 20 million black babies have been aborted since 1973. The irony and the hypocrisy and the decadence and the fact that they're complaining about the government wanting them to be extinct in 3 generations while simultaneously actually doing the extinction themselves. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Kevin Samuels, you can't make it up, people. You can't make it up. You can't. The irony of me being tagged in this video, and when I peel back the curtain, black women are having 1,000 abortions a day. 1,000 abortions a day. And I'm getting tagged in a video about somebody talking about something that ain't even true. And even if it was true, why'd y'all get that shot? And why y'all aborting your babies? I can put abortion up against any issue. Listen, I love you all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Guess I'll see y'all Friday. I will continue on Friday. Definitely Friday, we're going to read into that document. And that document is called The SPARS Pandemic 2025 to 2028, a futuristic scenario for public health risk communicators. So we're going to read into that, and you're going to be very shocked at some of the things that it says. But listen, I love you all. I thank you all so much, and I will see you all Friday. Thank you.